Meanwhile, the president will promote the manufacturing sector when he speaks at the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University in Boston and at Columbia University in New York. Philippine Ambassador Jose Cusia said the president is also expected to talk about the consistent growth in the Philippine economy, as well as the reforms that have been undertaken under his administration. Again, here's Rocky Ignacio.
President Aquino will push for steps to ensure the welfare of Filipinos in the United States and elsewhere overseas. According to Philippine Ambassador to the U.S. Jose Cuisia, the President's 5-day working visit to the U.S. will focus on economy, climate change mitigation, and peace and development in Mindanao. Cuisia added that aside from his attendance to the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, the President will have the opportunity to discuss the country's potentials during a roundtable forum with other foreign investors. The President is expected to encourage foreign investments in the Philippines manufacturing sector.
He just came from Europe. I'm sure he has been talking to different business leaders in Europe to look at the Philippines as an investment destination. As you know, we're trying to promote the manufacturing sector. We've seen very good increases in terms of the manufacturing sector, the growth of the manufacturing sector in 2014. He can talk, of course, about the consistent growth in the Philippine economy, the reforms that have been undertaken under his administration. And you know, one that he can be very proud of is the good governance mantra that he has been advocating from the start of his administration, because that has really engendered tremendous optimism and confidence among international investors.
President Aquino will also attend a forum organized by the John F. Kennedy School of Government in Harvard University. Cuisia said this forum is significant to present the Philippine position on the West Philippine Sea.
The recent president is very confident to speak about it, not only because he knows the issue very well, but we have very strong grounds for advancing our position. No? We have adhered to the rule of law. We have followed the UN Convention on Law of the Sea, and that is the basis of our claim, the UN Convention on Law of the Sea. Unfortunately, China has refused to participate, and while they still have an opportunity to come in, because the deadline for the submission of their memorial is December 15, 2014, they continue to say that they will not participate. And many people say, well, if you have a strong grounds for your own claim, why are you not participating? No? So we're still hopeful that the Chinese authorities will change their mind, because then it gives us an opportunity to have a very good, well, I guess, presentation to the tribunal of our own position, and they will also present their position.
This is the first time that President Aquino returned to his second home for 3 years in Boston. The visit will also give an opportunity for the President to meet the Filipino community here amidst report of seeking temporary protective status for undocumented Filipinos in the U.S. At present, there are 200,000 undocumented Filipinos in the U.S.
You know, we met with the Assistant Secretary together of Department of Homeland Security with a number of Filipino leaders in Washington, D.C., so that they could hear from them directly that the DHS continues to study it very seriously. But DHS also was very appreciative of hearing the views of the Filipino-American leaders who joined us in Washington, D.C. They were assured by Assistant Secretary Alan Bersin that they would take into consideration all the comments made by the Filipino-American leaders. But they have to look at it on the basis of the law that was passed by the U.S. legislature, creating or providing for the TPS, or temporary protective status. They have to look at the conditions very carefully and say, does the Philippines qualify?
Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert De Rosario will meet Filipino-American group to discuss the matter.
If they're given this TPS, the illegals, for example, right now, would be able to get jobs, at least for that period. TPS is normally given for 18 months. Now, what happens after the 18 months? They go back to their previous status. That's why it's called temporary. So if they are undocumented after the 18 months period, they still undocumented. But see, during the 18 months, they can get job, they may even be able to get driver's license, limited. So there are benefits that go with it.
But will that help them in legalizing their status? I mean,
No,
will that...
They're not
the
assured.
18
No.
So it's just a reprieve.
Exactly. But the leaders say, well, it's still helpful because some other countries have been able to get extensions beyond 18 months.
So
But I
extend,
keep telling them, do not assume that it will be extended because you may be disappointed. No? But Secretary Del Rosario will be meeting with a group of Filipino American leaders who wanted to talk to him about it.
For the People's Television, Rocky Ignacio, Boston, Massachusetts.